If you're looking for another one of those free places to go in London and can't quite think about it and you're scratching your head, you're thinking, where can I go? How about coming here? Doesn't this look fantastic? Yes, it does. It's the British Library and it's right next to King's Cross St Pancras tube station, which basically means nearly every line goes here. So come with us as we do a very quick tour of the free, oh by the way, did I mention it's free British Library on the Euston Road. Now, way back when, the British Library was part of the British Museum. By the way, I'll put a link to that video if you haven't seen the British Museum in the top right-hand corner. Anyway, in about the year 1998, this building was opened, hence it looks so modern. And whilst they were doing this, they also put these incredible sculptures outside. Think of them what you like. That was, as you see, planets. This one is Newton, and it looks very busy. Now, one of the reasons you might want to come here is it is a research library, and it is also one of the largest libraries in the world, and is estimated to contain between 170 and 200 million items from many countries. As the place is also a legal deposit library, the British Library gets copies of all books produced in the UK and in Ireland, including a significant portion of overseas titles distributed in the UK. Now let me tell you about this 6-storey glass tower that we're looking at here, which is called the King's Library, with 65,000 printed volumes along with other pamphlets, manuscripts and maps collected by King George III between 1763 and 1820. And as you can see, when you walk through the door from the outside, it really is one of those things that really hits you right in front. So there you go, you get a great view back across the whole entrance area. Right, let's tell you more about the British Library. So not only have you got books and different types of things that you can read, but they're all in different formats, both print and also digital. So you've got books, manuscripts, journals, newspapers, magazines, sound and music recordings, videos, play scripts, patents, databases, maps, stamps, prints, drawings, you name it, they've got it here. Some of the items they hold date back to 2000 BC, which is quite incredible. And we're going to show you some incredible pieces of art like this, all handwritten by Leonardo da Vinci, him of the helicopter, and so many other great things as well. So in this room that we're in, which is just off the ground floor, this is almost called the treasures area, and this is where you've got some incredible things what we're going to show you in this video, like these. How about some of the original scripts as written by William Shakespeare in his book? It's his first folio and it dates back to 1623. And how about this music? And this was written by Handel the composer in 1736. See, this is just an incredible place to come. And if you really want to go music, how about this? From Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This book is a book of debate poetry and it's called The Owl and the Nightingale and dates back to the late 1200s. Yeah, I told you there's some history here, it's absolutely incredible. And this is Chaucer's Canterbury Tales from the 1400s. In this, it's not just the writing that catches your eye, but it's also the bordering as well, which is just absolutely beautiful. And I love the mix of things that you can see here. So we've seen various books. How about this? This is a stage plot for a play from the 1500s in Elizabethan time, and it gives directions to the actors of what they need to do in certain parts of the act. Next, we're looking at this book from George Eliot, which is Middlemarch, a study of provincial life. And of the 4 volumes, this is volume 3, handwritten, which would have been sent to the printers for them to approve and get printed. And you've heard of Oscar Wilde and the importance of being earnest? Well, this is his book. Yes, the handwritten version. So you've got nuggets of history like that, and you've got more recent history. So if you're a Monty Python fan or know anything about Monty Python, you may well remember the sketch, The Spanish Inquisition. This is the handwritten script of the Spanish Inquisition. And if you know it well, as I did, I actually sat there laughing whilst I was reading this here at the British Library. Needless to say, I got lots of funny looks. Nobody expected me to laugh, or a Spanish Inquisition. Here from the late 1600s, we've got Sir Christopher Wren, and these are his designs for the monument to the Great Fire of London from 1666. All handwritten here, ready for approval before it was built by him and other architects in London. And next we go royal. This is a letter from Queen Victoria to William Gladstone, her Prime Minister at the time, about the women's votes. Keeping in the theme of correspondence, this letter is from Mahatma Gandhi from prison to the Viceroy of India. Now, I've gone through it quite slowly, but your best bet is if you really want to read everything that you've got here, hit the pause button as you're going through and read each line. It's absolutely incredible. Now, Michelangelo was well known for his sculptures, especially for David and various other things as well of the art world. But did you know he was a poet? And this is one of his love poems. Now, if I told you this was a photo of the moon, you'd go, great, yeah, we see those 10 a penny, you quickly Google, you can have a look. Not in these times. That was dated from 1857 and is one of the first known photos of the moon to have appeared. Now, this document is from around 959, and Queen Adegifu, who died in 966, was the wife and mother and also the grandmother of several English kings. Now, she outlived her husband, who was King Edward the Elder, who reigned between 899 and 928. Anyway, she was exiled from court several times, probably because of as a result of political meddling. And this document, which is written entirely in Old English, records her gift of the estates of Cooling and Osterland to the monks of the Christ Church, Canterbury. And here we've got a beautiful hymn book from 1415 for Augustinian friars. I hope you're really enjoying this stuff, and I just can't believe, once again, in London, in the British Library, which you really wouldn't think of going to, they've got all of this on display. Some of this stuff dating back so many years, but really documenting history as well. And coming up in just a second, we've got more royal stuff. Yes, we've got King Henry VIII's Bible, and here we go. It's the Great Bible from 1540. So this was Henry VIII's own personal copy. Plus, we've got some more great things to show you still here at the British Library. Worth coming along, isn't it? Did you know it was open to come in and have a look? I certainly didn't before I got here. So let me tell you a bit more about the British Library. Now, as I said earlier, there are so many books that are based here that it's possible that if you wanted to come down and have a look, you'd think, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll go and have a look and see that copy. But it doesn't work like that. If you're going to come in and have a look and you want to see something for research purposes, you've got to apply first to the British Library, and then they'll give you a pass so that you can actually go in and get a copy or go and see a copy of the book. Now, also at the British Library, you've got thousands of students that descend upon here because they're doing research on various things. So you've got cafe facilities, you've got places where people have got their laptops and all the rest of it plugged in. So it's one of those places where lots and lots of people meet. But what you've got to do if you come down here is come to this treasures room, because this treasures room has got absolutely everything you could possibly want to see. It is just absolutely fantastic. And as I said earlier, and as you're seeing here, this is from Nepal. So you've got things not just from the UK and the UK heritage, but you've got things from all over the world. And I can't recommend it enough. How long does it take to get around? Good question. It's one of those things. The more that you stare and you look at these things and you take it in, the longer you stay. So actually, I was here for a couple of hours, and actually I was only doing a bit of filming and having a look at this stuff, which is incredible. What you're looking at here is the original Magna Carta from 2012. And in the medieval period, this document was kept in the archives at Canterbury Cathedral, and it seems that was his original destination in 2012. Now, at some point, it was removed to Dover Castle, and at some point later, it was kept by someone else in 1731 and damaged in a library fire, and the condition was simply made worse by a failed restoration attempt in the 1830s. Now, this is the only original Magna Carta which retains any trace of the Great Seal of King John. Now, this is also the Magna Carta, but this was issued 10 years later and in a much better version. Just look at this. And this was issued in 1225 by King Henry III and became the final and definitive version of the Magna Carta. Now, it's been preserved and looked after during the war. It was hidden under floorboards and wrapped up, but just look at the condition of it and just look at that seal at the bottom as well, which is absolutely remarkable. Now, if you're interested to know what all that says, it says this. So once again, use that pause button and you can read through the whole thing. And this is the content of the Magna Carta. And if you read all that, just drop in the comments in 3 sentences what it all means, please. Yeah, I didn't get around to reading it. Anyway, as I said earlier, you've got all sorts of things here at the British Library, not just books and various other bits, but this is one of the earliest European maps that have been found, which is in a great condition. And then, how about this from the late 1600s, a sketchbook of autonomy? Which is quite incredible, because if you think back then, wow, that's over 300 years ago. And, well, what did they have around for medicine at that time? Now, if you've loved this and you fancy seeing some more great history, then I've put a link in the top right hand corner to our video of Westminster Abbey. So click on that, there's more great royal history in there. See you there.